Hey, from the Louis Studio, this is Cheap Beer for you to drink. My name is JJ. All right, so I did a video on Stoney's. Didn't release it though, because right when I was about to post it, I remembered I picked up one can of Stoney's Light. So if I'm going to try the Stoney's Light, I want to try it side by side with the Stoney's. But I am going to revisit the Stoney's here. Stoney's Premium, pure honest beer. Established 1907, brewed and bottled by Stoney's Brewing Company, Latrobe, PA. When I think of Latrobe, I think of Rolling Rock. Rolling Rock's out of Latrobe, right? That is the beer I'm familiar with, but Stoney's out of there too. Stoney'sBeer.com, an interesting website. This beer doesn't have a lot of online presence, and I'm pretty sure it's just Stoney's and Stoney's Light. I'm pretty sure I have this whole Stoney's lineup here. Yeah, the few websites that have information about Stoney's, that's it. I don't know that they've released any other beers, at least any time recently. I'd be curious to know if you've seen any other Stoney's besides the light and the premium. Yeah, the premium here. Let me know. I'm going to pour these out side by side. The Stoney's I picked up in a 6-pack of bottles. I believe it was $9.99, $8.99. I got just a single can of the Stoney's Light. I'm glad they had single cans of it. Those look about the same, right? Look at that. $1.19 was the price on here. And see what this can says. Stoney's Light, pure honest beer, 1907. Average analysis. 8 grams of carbs. No, the calories are covered up. Let's see if I can get to the calories here. I might not be able to with this sticker. Let's see if it comes off clean. 105 calories. 8 grams of carbs. That's high carbs. 105 for calories. Not too bad, though. We just did a light beer with 105 calories. It's escaping me. But similar pours. A lot of bubbles going on here in the can. Let's start with the regular Stoney's because I have tried this recently. Haha, just as good as it was the first time. Stoney's, out of all the beers, this is one of the ones that when John, Tony, and I went to Pittsburgh, this is one that I picked up. Not sold around me here in Ohio, but one state over in Pennsylvania. It's all over. Probably my favorite of the bunch, I think, that I picked up. That's just really, really good tasting beer. I wish it was the one I got the smallest amount of, too. I 1 can of the light and 6-pack of the bottles. The rest were only in like 24 packs and 30 packs. Kicking myself for not picking up more of the Stoney's because, like I said, probably my favorite of the bunch. And in that video, I said it reminded me a lot of a beer, and I said it was probably Coors Banquet, but that's not the beer it reminds me of. It reminds me of the Black Label beer in the red cans. I think it's Carling Canada Black Label. If you've had that, you have had a very similar beer to this one, but I think this is slightly better. Just really good tasting lager. Super good. Yeah, I think it's comparable to like a Carling Black Label or a Coors Banquet. It's in that field. Narragansett. It's like one of those types of beers. Super duper good, and I think it's, like I said, it's slightly better than Black Label probably, but very similar tasting brew. I want to focus on the light now because I haven't had this. I don't think there's any nutritional facts on this one, no. Stoney's Light. I got 1 can, and it doesn't have a date or anything on it, so maybe it just fell out of a 12-pack or something. Still bubbling away. Let's try the Stoney's Light and see if it compares, if it is as good as the Stoney's here, because regular is just delicious. It smells the same. I mean, it's similar enough. That's it's pretty great for a light beer. All right, let me go back and try the regular Stoney. So I'm gonna try it out of the bottle. The regular Stonies, for me personally, I normally prefer a light beer, but that is better. However, the Stoney's Light is very, very close to the premium, and obviously less calories. Now I bought this as a single can. This may be an older can. Maybe that's why it's not as delicious. Um, but I wish more light beers tasted like that. What kills me is I was just thinking about this the other day. One of my favorite beers is Coors Banquet. One of my least favorite beers is Coors Light. I just think it's so funny that Coors is one of my favorites. Coors Light, one of my least favorites. There's just something so bad about Coors Light. I don't know what it is. I had it on draft a few weeks ago, and I still didn't like it. It wasn't as bad as I remembered, but I normally like beers. I don't know what it is about Coors Light. It was one of the first beers that I started drinking, and maybe I just got burnt out on it. I don't think that's it, though. It just doesn't taste good, and it doesn't taste anything like Coors Banquet. But then you get a beer like this, where the Stoney's Light is super similar to the Stoney's Premium, and they're both very good. Um, well, that was a close call. Got the baby monitor going on in the background. I thought he was going to wake up, but he was just moving and grooving. Uh, Back to sleep. All right, back to talking beer. I wish more light beers were as close to their full fat version as the Stoney's is. Stoney's Light, while not as good as the Stoney's Premium, is still a really good beer. Both of these are awesome. This is their whole lineup, and they're both delicious. I wish Stoney's was around me because this would be one of my go-tos. It's up there with the American Light. Out of my trip to Pittsburgh, those have been my two favorites, or I guess three favorites now. Um, those are the three I would be buying. American Light from Iron City Brewing or Pittsburgh Brewing Company, and Stoney's Light and Stoney's. Fantastic beers. American Light is not as tasty as these. These are really good tasting. These are a step up. Probably a little more expensive, but if you're looking for, the next step up from your cheap beers, which I like doing, um, if you're, thinking about getting a Coors Banquet or a Budweiser or, something like that, you're in Pennsylvania, consider getting the Stonies here because they are pretty great. Wish I would have picked up more. Cheap beer for you to drink, Stonies. If you've had the premium or the light, let me know your thoughts on them. I think these are fantastic beers for the price, too. Yummy. Yeah, let me know your thoughts on these. If you see any new products out there, let me know, too. I would love to do a review on them. Leave your comments down below. Other than that, it's cheap beer for you to drink. Thanks for watching.